But we begin this hour with part 2 of our series, Psychedelic Renaissance, an eye-opening journey into the world of alternative mental health therapies using psychedelic substances. And today, new CBS News contributor Lisa Ling follows a group of veterans on a journey of healing that takes them south of the border and into new territories of the mind. And Lisa joins us now, I'm happy to say. Lisa, good morning.
Good morning again, Tony. The suicide rates for service members and veterans are nothing short of catastrophic. Recent estimates claim almost 17 vets in the U.S. take their own lives every day. Many suffer from post-traumatic stress and debilitating brain injuries, which traditional medications have largely failed to cure. A growing number of veterans are now using substances the government they fought for says are illegal.
Every week, an unmarked vehicle carrying former U.S. Special Forces arrives back in San Diego from Mexico. They're returning from fighting the battle of their lives, the one in their own mind.
Good to meet you, man.
The big guy who looks like Jason Momoa is Moose, a former Navy SEAL who works for the organization funding these cross-border trips for veterans to heal from years of war. He's going back down as support for these two men who've agreed to share their journey with me. Herb Daniels spent 14 years as a Green Beret and nearly 4 years in active combat.
How dark did it get for you?
The darkness was pretty profound.
What kinds of medications were you prescribed?
A lot of medications, taking them in the morning, through the day, in the evenings, pills to help me sleep at night.
Did any of the medications work?
I have to say no.
But it wouldn't be until after Herb retired from military service that the darkness started to consume him.
Herb, did you ever become suicidal?
I did. And as I watched more of my teammates, more veterans, start to take their own lives, I realized that that's an option. One night when my wife was coming home from a flight and I was waiting for her to come through the door, and as soon as I heard it chime, I was going to shoot myself. But her flight was late, thank God. And I kept drinking. So when she came home, she found me passed out in the bed with a gun on my lap that I hadn't used.
It was after another suicide attempt that Herb found out about an organization funding grants for former Special Forces to leave the country for treatment not legal in the U.S.
Make coffee?
Yeah.
Marcus and Amber Capone founded VETS, Veterans Exploring Treatment Solutions, after Marcus retired from multiple combat deployments as a Navy SEAL with PTSD and a traumatic brain injury. The treatments they began exploring, psychedelics.
Why psychedelics?
It gets the job done. I mean, flat out. Traditional approaches are very difficult to solve those problems.
It really, for me, came down to a point of complete desperation to save Marcus. It felt like we could lose him to suicide.
It was Amber who found out about a retreat in Mexico that uses psychedelics to treat PTSD.
Psychedelics wasn't part of my language, but, you'll try anything.
So in 2017, Marcus set off to Mexico, where he was given Ibogaine, a hallucinogenic plant mixture from Africa, and smoked 5-MeO-DMT, a substance derived from the glands of the Sonoran desert toad. And then, everything changed.
It's like it just reset everything in a few hours. All the stress, anxiety, it just went away. It flew away, fell right off my shoulders.
5-MeO-DMT is reputedly the most powerful psychedelic. I mean, it's not the kind of thing that you would just do on a whim.
No, you get to a place where it's bliss and it's godlike, but it's not fun. You should always be in the care of someone who's a professional.
After Marcus's experience, the couple dedicated themselves to helping former Special Forces get the help they desperately need.
The veterans that end up getting funding from vets are given the money to pay for the retreat, and then they're given all sorts of educational resources and support before and after they leave the United States.
This is really going to happen.
Herb is one of the veterans who received the life-saving treatment back in July 2022. Today, I'm joining him as he's crossing the border again with another veteran, Mike Ortiz, to do the 5-MeO-DMT treatment for a second time. Moose is along for support.
We're in this kind of unmarked vehicle driving over the border to get healing that you can't get in the country that you fought for?
It's disappointing. It feels like we've been abandoned once we took the uniform off.
Is it possible that you might not be here today if you hadn't taken the medicine?
I wouldn't be, for sure.
How's it going, sir? Juan, nice to meet you.
We are now about an hour into Mexico at a location that I've been asked not to disclose for the safety and security of the participants, but hundreds of United States veterans have come here to find a kind of healing that is not legal in the United States.
Inside, a local facilitator, Juan Aguilar, brings the men together to set their intentions.
What led you back to working with 5-MeO-DMT?
That medicine journey really opened up my heart. Now I wanted to dig deeper, and I feel childhood memories, sadness and anger, and I want to let that go. Lisa, if you're up for it, I'd invite you to sit down with me.
Would you like me to?
I would.
Okay. All right.
We use the mapacho smoke to cleanse the space, right? And then as this is happening, I tell them to speak with the medicine, to sit with it, to focus on their breath, and then we dive right into the experience. I'll be right here with you, brother.
Okay.
And how long does the period last?
Most commonly, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes at most. Listen to my voice, hold it.
I can't take my eyes off Herb as I watch his chest rise and fall, and tears roll down his face. After about 10 minutes, his eyes slowly open.
Is Moose here?
Yeah, he's right there, brother.
I am taken aback by Moose's embrace of Herb, some of America's elite warriors trained to fight wars and bury their emotions. Here they are, laying it all bare. Now it's Mike's turn.
Hold it. Fight for it, brother. Fight for it.
Once under the medicine, Mike is smiling from ear to ear. When he comes to, he joins Herb for a quiet moment.
Magical.
Can't wait to talk to you about it.
How are you guys feeling?
Amazing. Yeah, magical, like a fresh start. My heart was just opened, wide open, and there was laid bare so much pain, so much anger. And as soon as I let it go, I became aware of my presence again, and I felt my body just relax.
To be pain-free for that short period of time was like the best feeling in the world.
Do you feel like you received transformation in a 10-minute experience?
Absolutely. I don't think it takes long to change a perspective. If you believe it can happen, then it can happen. And sometimes you just need a little jump start to help you get there.
Wow.
What did they say happened during that journey, and how long does it last? Does it?
It can last up to 15 minutes. It's very, very short, but it's so powerful. And Herb told me that when it first hit, he felt this excruciating pain, but then the medicine telling him, just let it go, let it go. And it was sort of a metaphor for everything that he'd been experiencing.
But those feelings continue, let it go. It's longer. The actual thing takes 15 minutes, but after that, you're totally relieved of?
I mean, that's what he said during that
And everyone's journey is different.
Everyone's journey is different. Mike, on the other hand, and I get emotional thinking about it, you know, 5-MeO-DMT is known as the God molecule. And he told me that while he was under, he just felt wrapped in God's love. And it was so much more powerful than anything that he'd ever experienced. And he felt so safe when he was having that experience.
And this chemical is found naturally in the gland of a particular toad?
Yes, there is a synthetic version that more people are using now for conservation reasons. But I wanted to mention that this organization, VETS, that funds the grants, they have to turn away 80 to 90% of the applicants because the demand is so vast. But I also want to mention, though, and reiterate that they do provide wraparound services. Again, these are very, very powerful medicines. And so they provide treatment, counseling before and after people go through this.
And when he said, will you do it with me, he was asking, I said, did you do it?
I did not do it.
You were just sitting there with him.
He asked me to sit alongside him, and it was truly an honor to be there.
She does do something, though, tomorrow, though, in part 3. I'm not going to give too much away here. Lisa, thank you very much for part 2. Tomorrow, part 3 of the series Psychedelic Renaissance. Lisa goes to Sedona, Arizona to learn about a psychedelic experience where there are no drugs ingested, and she gives it a try.